Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chris, and here we talk about business, candle making, and how to boss up. And in today's video, we're definitely bossing up. I'm gonna be talking about 10 things you can do to help build your confidence. So let's get into it. I'm really going to be talking about things you can do to help you build yourself up, build your confidence, and really help you believe in yourself. I feel like believing in yourself can fluctuate depending on where you're at in life. We know that. But it is a fundamental factor in your success as a human and anything that you put your mind to. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you're always going to question why you think you could do that. Why she thinks she could do that. And when people don't believe in your idea when you do, you'll fall victim to believing that your idea ain't shit either. So for starters, the first thing I'm gonna say is you need to spend time with yourself. And when I say spend time with yourself, you need to be getting to know who you are at your core, at your root. What do you like? What don't you like? Who are you? And when I say who are you outside of your job, outside of your family, outside of your relationship? Because those are things that you do. Those are things that you are. And understanding that and recognizing that the things that you do don't reflect who you are as a person. Are you nice? Are you funny? Do you like to laugh? What do you like? And finding what you like is a process, especially if you've lost that part of yourself. I talk about this all the time. When I lost my job, it was the best thing that could have happened to me. Primarily because I allowed myself to get to know myself again. And I didn't realize how much I needed that and how much that helped improve my confidence by just understanding who I was again. Because everyone else's expectations of me became my expectations of myself. And I had to realize that those things didn't matter. What people expect of me don't matter. And it is a hard, long lesson that some people don't even get a chance to learn because they get so consumed with what's next. What can they do? What are they up to? Because the first question most people ask you are, what are you up to? What you working on? What you doing? But that don't matter because how am I? How am I doing? Where am I at in life? Am I struggling? Okay. So first things first, you need to be spending time with yourself. Unlearning certain things, learning new things, cultivating new habits. And you won't be able to do that until you understand who you are at your core, your strengths, your weaknesses, and where you building up from, okay? Because we bossing up in 2020, okay? Understanding what makes you happy. That is the core. I'll get into this later, but one of the next things that I'm gonna be talking about is following joy. Following joy. And if you don't know what makes you happy, which is why I say you need to be spending time with yourself, learning the things that you like again. And that can be a process. When I lost my job in September, I was like, who am I? What do I even like? What do I like to do? I don't even know what I like to do. I don't even know what I like to do. I'm such a homebody. I was just chilling at the crib. Understanding what makes you happy, even if it's something that's small, like waking up in the morning and making yourself a cup of coffee, or going on a walk every night or morning, or you have time to do your hair and your makeup every morning. These are some things that I did that, because when I used to go to work, I didn't care. I was like, I'm here and I'm gonna be gone. When I need to go out, I'm gonna show up and show out. But I realized that wow, the little things, just me taking the time to do my makeup and my hair in the morning, not just rushing, not just waking up and on go, but allowing myself those moments, those small moments. I realized that I really liked that. Then I got laid off, so I was like, fuck that. But I had to take time to try new things and get to know myself again. Next, this kind of falls in line with my last thing of spending time with yourself, but understanding what you like is important, but also understanding what you don't like and not ignoring that, right? Understanding what you don't like and not ignoring that feeling to appease other people, make other people comfortable. Nah, you gotta know what you don't like. Understanding what you don't like, I feel, is important because when you are learning how to rebuild your confidence and believe in yourself, it's it's like Legos. You're building on top of the other thing. And I feel like everything is an experience that you can learn from. And I say that because if you're trying to boss up and become a different person, become an elevated person, become the person that you see yourself being in the future, you have to understand your flaws and understand your strengths, right? And understanding what you don't and what you like and what you don't like are fundamental. It's a fundamental foundation, I feel, for understanding what you do like and understanding why you don't like certain things, so that when you're in pursuit of something like a business or a new hobby or something, you understand why those things like create a certain reaction from you. The next thing that I'm going to talk about that I feel is super important, and it is something that you have to be quiet enough to understand and learn how to do, but follow joy, right? It is it's my favorite saying. I love saying I follow joy. That's how I got here. I follow joy. I follow what the fuck made me happy. But I say follow joy because I think joy leads you into your purpose. I feel like joy is my compass in life. If it don't make me happy, honey, it's in the trash. It is in the trash, because we shouldn't be making time for things that make us angry, sad, question everything. Like, those things don't belong in us. We should be happy. We should feel fulfilled. We should feel excited. And granted, like, we're not going to feel all of those things all the time. But, like, if the good outweigh the bad is like, it ain't really here. And I feel like following joy allows room for excitement and just an exciting life. I say that so often when people are like, how you get here? Or like, what are you doing? Like, I see you glowing up. And I say, I follow joy. And I read this book called Big Magic, and she talks about following the nudges. Follow those nudges. You might not understand where that nudge came from. That nudge may not even like make sense to you all the way, but when you feel it, you follow it. And I really feel like those nudges lead you into your purpose. And I have been following these nudges, and y'all, these nudges ain't lie. And those nudges for me, it's joy. Something that brings me happiness. As long as it ain't harmful or toxic, like, follow it. Follow joy, follow joy, follow joy. And I feel like when you follow things that make you happy, you are leading yourself into a fulfilling life. So the next thing that I'm going to be talking about is being nice to yourself. It sounds simple, but we know that shit is hard. Like, being nice to yourself, it can be hard when you have all of the voices from all of the people that ever told you that you wouldn't amount to something because they couldn't. How many of y'all have had somebody say, you can't do that, I already tried it? What? Because you tried and you failed me, I can't succeed? Why they do that? We need to unlearn what people have told us about us, because what they say is coming from their experiences, and we don't know what they got. Being nice to yourself is not easy. I went through this process of, what did I do? I feel like it's hard because I be telling people about this and they be like, huh? You did what? Like, how you do that? But I went through this process of, anytime I had a negative thought, I would counter that thought with a positive thought. So if I was like, I could never do that, in my head, I'll be like, no, bitch, you can. And slowly, I did that for maybe like a month, and it was hard. And I did that for a month, and so, like, there was a part of my mind that opened that I didn't even, it was just it just opened a different part of my perspective. And I remember the moment I was driving in my car and on this freeway that I drive on all the time, and I just noticed so much stuff that I had never noticed before. Like, I had never noticed it before, and I was like, that's so interesting. I make room for so much more when I have a positive outlook. And I ain't never noticed this tree. I ain't never noticed this building. But I notice it now. And I just started noticing things all over the place. And I was like, wow, how much of my life is consumed by negativity and how much of that negativity is influencing my experience. And it was such a transformational thing that I did when I just started having more positive thoughts, more positive outlooks that really helped me with my confidence. Just changing a thought or saying from yes, no, I can't to yes, I can. Like, I could have that, or I can do that. Even if I don't fully believe it, I feel like changing that mindset from I can't to I can helps you build your confidence. It does. I started doing affirmations. I don't even know where they are now, but I wrote like 20 affirmations, and they weren't all things that I believed in myself. I wrote, I am strong. I am positive. I am courageous. I am loved. I am hardworking. I feel fulfilled. I have a fulfilling life. Things like that, right? And I wrote them on all these Post-its, and I hung them on my wall, a wall that I have to look at all the time, and I would repeat those things for like 5 minutes straight. And repeating those affirmations, man, I can't even describe it. Like, people talk about it like this is affirmations don't help me, but I think it's more like you have to invade your normal habits. You have to invade them, and you have to change them by disrupting your natural processes. And so when I say be nice to yourself, it's not an easy thing, but it's a practice. You have to practice being nice to yourself. You have to practice having positive thoughts. You have to practice, and you have to put things in place that force you to do those things. And for me, it was anytime I had a negative thought, change to a positive thought. Change I can't to I can, or I want to I will, or I don't have to I will have. And making those affirmations, I am powerful, I am strong, I am dope, okay? And that forces my mind to shift to another space. And it really helped my confidence. I was like, I can do that. I got that. I see that. I'm gonna have that. And it really helped. The next thing that I'm gonna talk about is something that I didn't do forever. And it's something that is the most powerful thing, in my opinion, to do. And that is exercising your right to say no. Exercising your right to say no. I don't have the space to do that. I don't want to do that. I can't do that. And being okay. I don't know if y'all like me, but if y'all like me, I'm a Cancer. Cancers be doing too much. But I will volunteer myself for everything. And I used to. I'm not that way anymore, but I used to volunteer myself for everything. And I think primarily my love language is acts of service. Like, I show love through acts of service. And if I fuck with you, I'm like, what you need help with? Let me help you. But I used to do it to a point where it just wasn't healthy. And to be honest, some people didn't deserve my acts of service. And it became something. It became a problem. Like, it wasn't destructive, and it wasn't something that, like, doing nice things for people ain't, it ain't bad. But at the expense of, like, well, I don't do this for myself, or I wouldn't do this for myself. It got to that point where it's just like, why am I doing this? I wouldn't do this for me. And it got to a point where I was like, damn, I wish I showed up for myself the same way I show up for this person. And when I started having those thoughts, I was like, yeah, I have things to change. One, me, and two, what I allow myself to give to people. And even no to myself. Like, I be trying to do too much with myself now. And I be like, nah, I could do it. Nah, I could do it. And then people around me be like, but can you? You don't look like you can. You don't look like you can do this. You don't look like you have this. And That was a serious problem. I remember I used to be a personal assistant, and I remember my boss was like, you know, you don't have it. He was like, you don't have it, but you keep saying you got it, but you don't have it. And I was like, damn, I don't have it. But I keep saying that I do, because for me, for a long period of time, I did not like to, well, I still don't like depending on people, but I had to realize at some point I need help. And at some point I have to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. It doesn't make you weak or inferior. Like, sometimes people just want to help. The same way that I like to help people, some people want to fuck with me and help me too. All right, so the next thing we're going to be talking about is conquering small fears and becoming a little bit uncomfortable, right? When you're working out in the gym, they be like, no pain, no gain. And it's the same in real life, outside of working out. You need to be uncomfortable, right? If you just stay in this box, like you never try to get past this box, you'll just stay in this box. And there's a risk factor. Like, you have to take some risks in life. Without risks, sometimes you will never get a reward, and you'll just be in this never-ending circle of, damn, I want things to change, but I'm not willing to change. And sometimes a lot of times you have to just get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Sometimes getting past your own fear, getting to that other side, there's just so much success there. Getting past that, it's not easy though, but like, you have to work towards it. It's mental gymnastics, right? It's like, man, I'm so scared of this, but I don't even really know why I'm scared of this. And it's a real thing that people are scared of their own success. People are scared of failing, right? But like, if you never fail, you don't give yourself room to even succeed. Writing down, like, what about this thing scares me? Am I afraid of the failure? Why am I afraid of the failure? Do I care about what people think? Well, why do I care about what people think? And what people do I care that think this? Is it people that I know or people that I don't know? Because if people that I don't know, should I really care? They ain't paying my bill. Like, going through that process and writing those things down and asking yourself the harder questions, which goes back to spend time with yourself. The next thing goes into the last thing, but it's challenging yourself and holding yourself accountable nicely. And there's a fine line between challenging yourself and giving yourself room to play, and challenging yourself and like not holding yourself down. So the next thing is challenging yourself and holding yourself accountable nicely. I think there's a fine line between holding yourself accountable and being a tyrant to yourself. Like, feeling like you have to, like, you know, nicely. This key word, nicely. I really think there's a fine line between holding yourself accountable in a relaxed way and like holding yourself accountable and like being a hard ass on yourself. I think it depends on who you are. I'm very much a person that if like I'm not on my shit, I want somebody to be like, you need to get your fucking life together. But I understand that some people are like, they want to be nudged a little bit, like, hey, remember you said you was gonna do that? What's up with that? Oh, you ain't done it yet? Oh yeah. It just depends on what type of person you are, and depending on what type of person that you are, depends on how you know how to motivate yourself. I think throughout this candle making process for me, I have like done enough things to know what motivates me and how not to burn out. And I think that not burning out this time has been solely because I've given myself permission to say no, and I can't, and I won't, and I want to rest, and I know I need to get this done, and I'm gonna do that. But first, let me take this nap. And I think a lot of it has to do with me understanding that I can be nice to myself and work hard, and working hard doesn't always mean staying up till 3 in the morning because you know you got to get something done. Sometimes it just means that I've been putting in the hours. I'm gonna not put in these hours right now, and I'm gonna do what I want and not worry about all of the rest of the things that need to get done. So the next thing that I'm gonna be talking about is setting small goals for yourself and following through with those goals. Start small and then get large, but set some goals. Hold yourself accountable. Set goals. Write those goals down. What are some goals that you want to meet? Write them down so that you can see them, look them in their face, and get it done. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So each day, how can you maximize what you want to get done and what you want to do in that day? So next, one thing for sure that I've taken along on this journey is learn from each mistake. Whether that's a friendship, a situation, where you're at in life, learning from things that you've gone through to take you further. What can you learn from each situation? What can you learn from each situation? What did you learn? Or are you not open to learning? Because you gotta learn. You gotta be willing to learn to, get further. And what did people teach you? Out of every experience that I've been through, I have always just zeroed in on what did I learn from that? What did I take away from that? That has nothing to do with the situation, but I learned that in these scenarios, I do this. Did I like that? Can I make that better? Or is this something that I need to work on within myself? Everybody is not going to understand you or your ideas or where you see yourself going. Some people are here for a moment, some people are here for a lifetime, and some people are here for a lesson. Understand that. And don't feel comfortable sharing your ideas with everybody, because everybody ain't on your level. And when you understand that, you will understand life. Because you could be talking about $1 million idea, but because your friend is you could never do that, or that ain't your friend if they tell you can't do that, but somebody is you could never do that, and you listen to them, you stripped yourself away from an opportunity. And we not stripping ourselves away from no opportunities in 2020 because we bossing up, okay? So when I say that people will give you advice from their lived experiences and their perspectives that don't reflect yours, you can't listen to them. You can't listen to everybody, and everybody does not have your best interest in mind. All right, so this is the last one, y'all, and we're gonna go out into the world and boss up. The last thing that I want to bring to y'all that is the most important of them all, in my opinion, the one that will shoot you in your foot, the one that I feel doesn't compare, the one I feel is the most powerful, the one that can make you or break you. That is, stop comparing yourself to other people. Period. Ain't nobody you. Can't nobody do what you do. Just because they have a similar idea don't mean they have your idea, your drive, your tenacity, your personality. Just because they're doing what is similar, could be comparable, don't mean they you, girl. Don't mean they you. And that will make or break a dream. When you go on Instagram, seeing everybody doing everything, that's meant for them. A quote that I love: what is for me is for me. If I lose a friend, they weren't for me. If I gain a friend, maybe they for me. If I lose $100, that wasn't for me. If I gain $1,000, that was for me, okay? Because when you start comparing yourself, you minimize yourself. There's no side by side here because we're bossing up. When you start comparing yourself to other people, you minimize yourself. They ain't you. They ain't gonna be you. And whatever they're doing is for them. Don't take it personal. Keep doing. Focus on your own lane. We staying in our lanes and we are focused on what we're focusing on. When you zero in on your shit, you lose sight of their shit. And you allow so much doubt to come in when you start comparing yourself. How do you not compare yourself? It's a hard one. It's easy to do. But you gotta remember your worth. We gotta remember the rest of the steps because we spend time with ourselves. We know ourselves. We set goals. We didn't let the small stuff hit us. You know, we followed joy. We did the things we needed to do. So when somebody else come in doing something similar to what we doing, bless them. They good, but they ain't me. They ain't me. They ain't you. They ain't us. And that is it. Because when you do the rest, the other don't make no sense. The other don't even bother us because we know ourselves. We know what we offer. We know what we have and we know what we do and we know the work that we put in. So don't compare yourself because there ain't nothing that can be compared. We're doing the work in 2020. We're bossing up in 2020. We are where we need to be and we're going where we need to go. And that's all, y'all. Thank you for watching. I will see y'all next time. Cause we bossing up in 2020.
You told me I could trust you. Don't lie. I could really